Former President Jacob Zuma once said, There's
no one who's bigger than the ANC. No one. Don't provoke us too far. Don't. If the ANC is weak, they weakened it when they were the leadership of the ANC. It's a simple ABCD kind of politics. And these people who are leaders don't understand it. Some are doing it, by the way, in a very clever way. Some are running institutions. They are making their institutions to be the launching pad of the missiles against the ANC. And we are seeing it. We are keeping quiet because we are disciplined. They are cowards to come here and argue their point of view. They're just causing an unnecessary irritation. And we may not tolerate this for too long. They must sit and keep quiet. Because we don't want to talk about them. Because to us, they're important, they were given important positions. How they perform is not our story. Some of these comrades still call themselves ANC. Why are they not in the branches to raise those issues? Or use other means to address those issues with the leadership? Why go to the media? Yes.
Jacob Zuma once again said that, I am the ANC and I will die in the ANC. But the ANC have just expelled Jacob Zuma from his activities within the ANC political party. On the other side, Jacob Zuma is rejecting this expulsion imposed on him by the ANC leadership. So, what is next for Jacob Zuma? Before we get to discuss more about that, here's what the leadership of the ANC have announced in behalf of the ANC.
In the matter of the ANC versus Zuma, following a disciplinary hearing, the matter of the ANC versus Jacob Zuma was heard on the 23rd July 2024 on a virtual platform. The National Disciplinary Committee made the following finding in respect of Mr. Zuma on the 28th of July 2024. The National Disciplinary Committee finds that the charged member is found guilty of contravening Rule 25.17.17.4 of the ANC Constitution, read with subsection 2, for prejudicing the integrity or repute of the organization by acting in collaboration with a registered political party to which the Umkhonto weSizwe party, which is not in alliance with the ANC, in a manner contrary to the aims, policies, and objectives of the African National Congress. The charged member is expelled from the ANC. The charged member has the right to appeal to the National Disciplinary Committee of Appeal within 21 days. The final verdict being, I quote, the charged member is expelled from the African National Congress. The charged member has the right to appeal to the National Disciplinary Committee of Appeal within 21 days. Close quote. Former President Jacob Zuma has actively impugned the integrity of the ANC and campaigned to dislodge the ANC from power, while claiming that he had not severed his membership. This conduct is irreconcilable with the spirit of organizational discipline and letter of the ANC Constitution. Furthermore, former President Zuma has been running on a dangerous platform that casts doubt on our entire constitutional edifice. Close quote. Former President Jacob Zuma has actively impugned the integrity of the ANC and campaigned to dislodge the ANC from power, while claiming that he had not severed his membership. This conduct is irreconcilable with the spirit of organizational discipline and letter of the ANC Constitution. Furthermore, former President Zuma has been running on a dangerous platform that casts doubt on our entire constitutional edifice. He has meted out a host of anti-revolutionary outbursts, including mischievously calling into question the credibility of our electoral processes without cause and discrediting the rationale of our judicial system. The political values and democratic institutions he is mobilizing against were consciously embedded into our constitutional dispensation by the ANC as strategic advances of the values of the National Democratic Revolution. His platform is dangerous, appeals to extremist instincts in our body politic, and riles up political base that may foment social unrest. His actions reinforces the work of the primarily right-wing opponents of the National Democratic Revolution. Thank you.
That was Fikile Mbalula, the SG of the ANC. And listening to him very well, you can tell that the name of the Jacob Zuma in the ANC, it's now in the past. Jacob Zuma is no longer a member of the ANC, and they had given him 3 weeks in order for him to appeal. And that appeal that they have to do, they'll have to see whether they'll consider it or they'll have to reject it. But how did things get to this point? That's a capital question. We should first try to understand why the ANC, they have reached to this point. Of course, it all started when Jacob Zuma had to announce the new form political party Umkhonto weSizwe MK during this previous election that took place. Jacob Zuma made an announcement saying that he's not going to vote or campaign for the ANC. Instead, he's going to vote for a new political party, MK, which has been created and registered by the law. And this political party, Jacob Zuma, became as the leader of that political party. When you listen very well to Fikile Mbalula, who's the Secretary General of the ANC, it was very clear to make it even more understandable that Jacob Zuma had broke the constitutions or rules of the ANC, and that is something that is not gonna just walk free out of it without being punished. You also how the ANC, they have been fighting with Jacob Zuma, first of all inside the courts, by opening different cases against Jacob Zuma and the MK, which is the political party that Jacob Zuma has been running for some times. They went inside the court, they win where they could win, and they failed where they lost the case. But was that all? No, because they were doing all this because it was before the election campaign started. For those who've been watching us sometimes to time, you guys will definitely agree with us that we spoke about these things before. I myself, I have said that the negligence which we are seeing from the side of the ANC toward Jacob Zuma, it's not something good, because Jacob Zuma is a very dangerous leader in the ANC who have a lot of impact and influence that can change everything for the ANC. I believe they never took us serious. But today, listen to Fikile Mbalula coming back and saying that Jacob Zuma with his political party, they're the big danger, not only to the ANC, but in South Africa politics. What does that mean? When they're saying they're big danger, are they that big danger to the point that they will bring instability in South Africa politics? That's another question which we'll have to develop in a second. But guys, we had spoken about all these things. We make you guys understand that someone such as Jacob Zuma is not someone who should be taken lightly by the ANC leadership because of his influence that he had. This is the same man who had caused a serious sin only just because the Constitution Court had announced to arrest him. And we also how thousands and thousands of people went on the street of South Africa looting, not only in his original province but all over South Africa. Looting took place. Why? Because the influence that Jacob Zuma had upon all these people. This is the same man, if he speaks and everyone they listen, proof to that. When the ANC, they were busy trying to find a way to negotiate in order for them to come up with this government of national unity, The MK members who supposed to be negotiating with the ANC, they could not even be able to negotiate with the ANC. Why? Because they were waiting for an order which have to come from Ubaba Jacob Zuma. You can tell already the kind of the influence these men have. And unfortunately, the ANC, they were taking this lightly. They were neglecting him. They thought maybe Jacob Zuma is like one of those ANC former leaders who have left the ANC, and they thought maybe if he went out there, is not going to succeed. But after the elections, the result of which the MK party, they came out with to these elections, no one sees this coming. The MK party, they even become number 3 to this previous election that took place in South Africa. They stand on the position which the EFF of Julius Malema used to occupy it for about 2 previous elections that took place. Jacob Zuma with the MK party, they came and occupied this place. And you could tell already that they become a big threat to all the political parties who are seated over there in the parliament. The former main opposition political party, DA, with their leadership, John Steenhuisen, they could see already that no, we are being shaken here, and we can't resist here if we are not in the government. That is how they went on and embraced this GNU so that they can be in and occupied all the institutions around the countries, because they could feel already that there's no way we'll be in the oppositions in the parliament and being followed by political parties such as MK of Jacob Zuma, EFF of Julius Malema, this political party which the DA, they have declared as their enemy number 1. Now, these are the kind of things that the ANC will have at least sensed it, but they fail. Again, I insist, they fail to treat someone like a Jacob Zuma in the manner that he deserves to be treated, in order for them to at least keep all their voters. So for them, they were like, no, let him go, and we're still gonna prove to people that we're still the ANC. Many people, they have left the ANC before, and we're still surviving. Even if these people, they leave now, whether it is Jacob Zuma or whoever else can want to leave the ANC, we're still gonna survive. Well, these previous elections just show up that no, there are some people in the ANC, you don't need to take them for granted, and one of them was Jacob Zuma. So most of the voters who vote for MK Mkonto Zize, these voters, most of them, all of them actually, they came from the ANC, because remember here, ANC is being well known as a political party which was fighting for the well-being of black people. But as time goes, and as people keep on enjoying the beef soup, and then they start forgetting what they're supposed to be doing for people of South Africa. So this start opening out now different opinions among voters who are supposed to be voting for the ANC. That's how you saw when COP left the ANC, the open COP, people went there. But yet they're still big fan of the ANC. When Julius Malema came up with the EFF, people were voting for the ANC. Some of them, they start voting for the ANC. When the ANC even mess up again, start having problems, and for example, arresting Jacob Zuma and everything, people who are supposed to be voting for the ANC just because maybe they're a big fan of Jacob Zuma, they end up start voting for the EFF. Proof to that, look when the MK came to power, came to existence. See how the EFF, they end up losing all their voters in the KwaZulu-Natal. They end up losing all their voters who used to vote for them over there. You even heard himself, the president of EFF, Julius Malema, explaining, saying that no, these people did not vote for the EFF at KZN. These people is because they used to vote for the ANC, and these people obviously, they were voters of the former president Jacob Zuma. Now that himself, he have come up with his own political party, so these people, they were left without no choice for them to go and vote for the political party which they know that Jacob Zuma is standing in with his all 2 feet. So that already you can tell the kind of the influence someone such as a Jacob Zuma he have. But the ANC, they neglected all these things. They did not pay attention to to all these things. They did not have an idea that if we don't do this or try to stop these things right now, it's going to be a problem. Now today they decide to expel Jacob Zuma from the ANC. Jacob Zuma, you saw how I play you the footage and what Jacob Zuma had said before, that he's the ANC and he will always be a member of the ANC. Now that they remove him in the ANC, what will happen next for Jacob Zuma? Of course, Jacob Zuma is still believed that he's the member of the ANC, because if it is up to him, Jacob Zuma said it very well, I quote, that I'm fighting not the ANC that we all fought for, but I'm fighting against the ANC of Cyril Ramaphosa. So these decisions of expelling Jacob Zuma from the ANC activities, it's being considered by Jacob Zuma as the decisions which belongs to the ANC of President Cyril Ramaphosa, because it is the ANC that Jacob Zuma does not believe in. Jacob Zuma believes more in the ANC, which of former President Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, Albertine Sisulu, and more veterans who had fought so much for this political party to come to its existence. That is the kind of expels that Jacob Zuma would like to bow to. But this one that he considered as explanation of the ANC of President Ramaphosa, that is something that Jacob Zuma does not even want to buy, that kind of a story. But back to the question which I asked earlier on, why did Jacob Zuma why did the ANC decided to expel Jacob Zuma? Well, I've said it again before to one of our videos. For those who always watch us time to time, they will remember that I have once said that for the fact that Jacob Zuma go ahead and with the Mkonto Zize to this political, to these elections and come out, and on the other side, when Jacob Zuma with the MK, they are coming out as the winner. On the other side, the ANC, they have dropped, they even lost their majority in the parliament. Well, this won't go in vain. The ANC, they will come on on Jacob Zuma and they'll hit him so hard. That's what is happening today. I said it that they'll come with a very high disciplinary rules that they'll have to impose on him. And that is where we are sitting right now. The ANC actually right now, they are taking a revenge toward the man Jacob Zuma. They are taking the revenge because they have failed, they have lost in these previous elections. It is just really bring that instability within the ANC, and they lost a lot of posts that they usually be in control of. Imagine, who could have imagined that in 21st centuries the ANC, they will be in power, but they'll be having some ministers which belongs to their former colonials who used to deal with them during the time of apartheid. And some of these ministers some of these ministers, they are even ministers number ones, and the ANC ministers become like a deputy ministers. That is a big insult in the world of politics. People that you never wish to work with them, and here the constitutions end up putting you in front of the fact that you have to bow to the constitution's rules. And that is something that the ANC did not take it lightly. They are so painful. Remember, I always say again that this GNU government, it is kind of a beaten pill, which is very hard for someone to swallow. This pill is very sour or bitter to the point that the ANC, they are trying to swallow it, but it does not sit okay with them. Proof to that, see how for the first time in the Parliament of South Africa, seeing President Ramaphosa becoming desperate to the point of start attacking Julius Malema of the EFF more personally.
Honorable Malema,
What action?
where were you?
It was biologically impossible for me to be there.
As J.
Don't question me. Go and question my mother and my father why I was not there.
Now, this is an important lesson.
Here we speak truth and nothing else but the truth.
You call that a sellout position.
I showed up and I never sold out. I was never a collaborator.
That was not. Speak to Mondli Gungubele, who was a member of the NUM.
We never ever have made any reference to President's father in this parliament.
And yes, I'm proud to have been the son of a policeman, a very good policeman.
To say someone else's parents is a police officer can never be used as an insult. Even if we did, it would have been a statement of fact and not insult.
So in doing what you do, play the ball.
I spoke about your father in order for you to drag my grandmother unfairly so.
Ke boletse le nkgono wa hao. And nka se ke ka ema mo ka roga nkgono wa hao. Ka ba ne ke mo tlhompha, le wena ke a go tlhompha.
My grandmother has got nothing to do with what I'm doing here.
Ke bolela so ka obane. Go tshwanetse gore ha re le politiking. Re ite hesi sa hore re thomphane.
President, nna le wena re a tlhompana ebile re nna poleke tee, nna le wena re feta re ya go each other's house re ya ka maoto.
Honorable Malema, nna le wena re na lo hwetša nako ya gore re dule fatshe re bolele.
We don't need parliament to make an appointment. When we want to see each other, we have done so before.
Re ke re dule fatshe re bolele ka politiki, ga golo politiki yane ya kgale e ke bonang gore a o e kwešišiše gabotse.
I criticize you even when it is just the two of us. I'm not criticizing you here because I see these honorable members of parliament.
Hesi se waziwamba ha no wana ore azingo fara nefezi hambi zo fara na bathu banji hambi.
I'm not disrespectful. I engage robustly. A ke rapeletse boroko ka o budulala. Nna a ke tshabe motho, ke tshaba maka, ke bolela nnete. Mmušo wa dinonyana o tlowa in less than 2 years.
For the first time. Why? All because Julius Malema with the EFF, they had attacked the president of the ANC, President Cyril Ramaphosa, by reminding him that he have sold out people of South Africa. Him working with the DA, they have sold out all the visions that the veterans of the ANC, they've been fighting for all these years. So, President Ramaphosa sitting, listening to this kind of accusations, at the same time, he look on his own side with his own conscience, realizing that he's supposed not even to be working with this DA. But just because the constitutions impose these things on them, and now he do it, on the other side, now the opposition political parties that are coming on him and calling him names and accusing him of betraying people of South Africa. That made him become even more desperate because he need at least to defend himself. He need to defend the ANC. He need to defend and give proper reasons why they have to go to this government of national unity. Even though it does not sit okay with the ANC, even though people of South Africa does not like it, but he have to come at least and explain and give more clarity on what was the reason that motivated them in order for them to go for this government of national unity. Otherwise, it's gonna make the ANC lose even more voters in upcoming elections. So, if you see someone like a President Cyril Ramaphosa become that desperate, what about the ANC, who's well aware that we have lost a lot of voters, all because these voters decided to go and vote for Jacob Zuma? Simple as that. So, what can we do? Should we keep entertaining Jacob Zuma within the ANC when he's busy out there living his life with his own political party? Or should we have just to expel him and consider him as our enemy number one? Well, that is how they end up deciding to come up and expel Jacob Zuma from his all activities within the ANC. Now, what next for Jacob Zuma? Again, guys, before we get to continue, do me a favor, like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'll really do appreciate, and do subscribe in your massive numbers. We'll really do appreciate that. So guys, what will be the next move of Jacob Zuma, or what the future of Jacob Zuma looks like? Well, the future of Jacob Zuma look more brighter than ever. Yes. Proof to that, I remember Julius Malema through his press conference saying that if Jacob Zuma can make it in his 80s, what about us who still under 50 years? So if someone like a Julius Malema can say this kind of words, which means he can see already that in that parliament he does not need to fight only the ANC or the DA, but he don't have choice, him with the EFF, to work with Jacob Zuma, with Mkonto Zuizwe, because two of them is what's going to make them take power in the near future. So the future of Jacob Zuma is even more brighter. Remember Jacob Zuma, they had to remove him from running or representing himself to these previous elections because of the reasons which they said that no, he was under arrest, blah 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 blah. But in the next elections, Jacob Zuma will be able to represent himself. Do you know why? Because by then I mean all the rules or the arrest warrant or whatever they call it, according to the law that they had imposed on him. Yes, I will repeat that again, that they had imposed on him, because the whole process was not well respected. The arrest of Jacob Zuma, we all know that it was something that the Western and the Oppenheimer families and all these racist people who were having that personal anger toward the man called Jacob Zuma, they were trying everything by all means to take him down. That's how they make him resign from the office as the president of South Africa, then start following him inside the court, because their mission was to make him that he should just go in jail and disappear politically. But the old man, clever as he was, he tried to play them around, and then he shows up from other side. Today is a leader of a political party which is number 3rd and the main opposition political party in the parliament of South Africa. Wow. A round of applause for that, because it's not easy for everyone. So President Jacob Zuma still have that bright future. I'll tell you why. Because the ANC already, they have dropped below 50% in their elections, and this is a big warning. Actually it's a last warning that if the ANC, they don't do what is right or what people of South Africa they've been expecting from them, well, in the next coming elections, it's gonna be very hard for the ANC to take over the power. So it is either the ANC, they will be number 2, yes, as the main opposition party, the previous election, the next elections, and either it is the MK with Jacob Zuma taking power as the president of South Africa, or Julius Malema with the EFF taking over. Because these two political parties, EFF and MK, these two political parties, for the fact that they accept to work together, it's going to be a very big challenge for the ANC and these members of GNU, because it's going to be very hard for people to vote for them when they know that, okay, Zuma is working with Julius Malema, Malema is working with Zuma. So people don't trust them, and if they have to go to coalitions, like through the campaign, and say that no, we are going to maybe all of us to vote for one political party, I'm telling you, there's no way that the ANC will survive on this one. So we shall wait and see what will happen. The future is very bright and very pure for former President Jacob Zuma. We shall wait and see what will happen in the near future. And President Jacob Zuma obviously is going to address also the nations anytime soon, whether it's going to appeal for these explanations that they give him in the ANC, or whether it's going to just accept it and move on. But if it is up to us here at Cool Buzz TV, we'll rather just tell him that no, if let him forget about the ANC and focus on whatever is having already. I think that's the most important things. And at the end of the day, I mean, that's politics for you. Politics it comes with power, and the risk part of it now is that now that the ANC, they have expelled Jacob Zuma, is being exposed to any activities that can take him to jail. Because remember, when he was within the ANC, they will try to humiliate him, but they were not able to lock him down, because the ANC also, they were playing some impact, they were having some impact on somehow, you know, somewhere there. But now that is not in the ANC, and people who've been wanting to take him down, they are working now with the ANC, well, don't be surprised if one of these days you wake up, you find Jacob Zuma inside the court again. Yeah, we are saying it today. Tomorrow when we come, I believe you guys, you will agree with us. So because that is how politics works. It is either they eliminate you physically or either they try to eliminate you politically. So let's hope that that won't be the case with the former President Jacob Zuma. Guys, thank you so much. That will be all for today. It was very important that we come here and have this conversation with you because we believe that you deserve to know everything in details, and you deserve to know also what we are thinking here at Cool Buzz TV. So we really do appreciate your time. We really do appreciate your presence over here. Before you leave, do us a favor. Make sure that you give us your thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed to the channel for more videos to come. For now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.
Africa, Africa,